Ghost stories, chilling whispers, and haunted mansions filled with restless spirits. Some places on Earth hold dark secrets that refuse to stay buried. Welcome to the world of the paranormal. Today, we're counting down the top 10 most haunted houses in the world. These places are home to terrifying hauntings, mysterious voices, and ghostly apparitions. Would you dare to step inside? Let's find out, but be warned, some of these stories might keep you up at night. Kicking off our list is none other than the legendary Amityville Horror House in Long Island, New York. In 1974, a gruesome mass murder shook the town. Ronald DeFeo Jr. killed his entire family while they slept. A year later, the Lutz family moved in, but they only lasted 28 days before fleeing in terror. They reported hearing strange voices, seeing glowing red eyes in the darkness, and witnessing furniture moving on its own. Even paranormal investigators like Ed and Lorraine Warren believed this house was infested with an evil presence. Was it a hoax or a true case of demonic activity? We may never know. In the years following the Lutz family's departure, subsequent owners have reported no paranormal activity. The house has undergone renovations, including changes to its iconic quarter-round windows, and its address has been altered to discourage unwanted attention. Despite these efforts, the property continues to attract public interest. In 2016, it was listed for sale at $850,000 and eventually sold in March 2017 for $605,000. Today, the Amityville Horror House stands as a private residence. Known as the most haunted house in England, Borley Rectory was a hotspot for paranormal activity for nearly a century. Built in the 1800s, this eerie mansion was said to be haunted by the ghost of a nun who fell in love with a monk and was bricked up alive inside the walls as punishment. Witnesses reported mysterious writings appearing on walls, floating orbs, and eerie whispers in the dead of night. In 1939, the rectory mysteriously burned to the ground, but even its ruins are said to be haunted by the tragic spirits trapped within. Monte Cristo Homestead, located in Junee, New South Wales, is a historic Victorian-era manor built in 1885 by Christopher William Crawley. Over the years, it has gained a reputation as Australia's most haunted house, attracting numerous visitors intrigued by its storied past. In 1963, Reginald and Olive Ryan purchased the then dilapidated property and dedicated themselves to restoring it. Under their stewardship, the homestead operated as a museum and tourist attraction, offering guided tours that showcased its history and reported hauntings. This Victorian mansion has a terrifying history of deaths, including a stable boy who was burned alive and a maid who fell, or was pushed, to her death. Visitors have reported blood-curdling screams, ghostly apparitions, and a suffocating presence in certain rooms. Some even claim they've seen the ghost of Mrs. Crawley, the original owner, watching from the upstairs window. As of January 2025, Monte Cristo Homestead is closed to the public until further notice. The closure follows the passing of Olive Ryan in November 2024, after which the property came under the care of the Ryan family's 4 daughters. A breathtaking fairy tale castle, with a chilling past. Château de Brissac, one of France's tallest and most majestic castles, is haunted by the infamous Green Lady, Charlotte de Brézé. Once the wife of Jacques de Brézé, the powerful Duke of Brissac, Charlotte was brutally murdered by her husband after he discovered her affair. Her restless spirit has lingered ever since. Visitors report seeing her ghostly figure, draped in green, her once beautiful face now a rotting, hollow-eyed nightmare. At night, her eerie moans echo through the halls, sending chills through those who dare to stay. Some have even felt a cold breath on their neck or heard whispers when no one was there. Château de Brissac remains a stunning landmark, but if you visit after dark, be warned. The Green Lady may be watching. With at least 12 restless spirits, the Myrtles Plantation in Louisiana is one of the most haunted homes in America. Built in 1796 by General David Bradford, this mansion has a dark history of murder, tragedy, and lingering spirits. The most infamous ghost? Chloe, a former slave allegedly hanged after poisoning the owner's family. Her spirit still lingers, appearing in mirrors, doorways, and even photobombing tourists. But she's not alone. Guests report shadowy figures, childlike laughter, and eerie whispers in empty rooms. Doors unlock on their own, furniture moves mysteriously, and some visitors flee in terror before morning. Whether you believe in ghosts or not, one thing is certain. The Myrtles plantation holds secrets that refuse to stay buried. The Villisca Axe Murder House is now one of America's most haunted locations. On June 10, 1912, this quiet Iowa home became the site of a gruesome, unsolved massacre. Josiah and Sarah Moore, their 4 children, and 2 guests were brutally murdered in their sleep, bludgeoned with an axe by an unknown killer who was never caught. More than a century later, the house remains frozen in horror. Visitors report chilling whispers, ghostly children's laughter, and doors slamming on their own. Some even claim to hear the distant echo of an axe dragging across the floor. The house has become a hotspot for paranormal investigations, with ghost hunters capturing eerie EVP recordings and unexplained movements. Some say the spirit of the murderer may also remain, watching, waiting, hiding in the shadows. In San Jose, California, stands the Winchester Mystery House, one of the strangest and most haunted homes in the world. Construction began in 1884 after Sarah Winchester, widow of William Wirt Winchester, inherited a vast fortune from her husband, the heir to the Winchester Repeating Arms Company. Consumed by grief after his death and the loss of their infant daughter, Sarah turned to a psychic, who warned her that she was cursed by the spirits of those killed by Winchester rifles. Her only escape? To build, and never stop. For 38 years, the mansion expanded endlessly, filled with secret passageways, twisting hallways, and doors that lead to nowhere, all designed to confuse vengeful spirits. Even after Sarah's death in 1922, visitors report eerie whispers, phantom footsteps, and shadowy figures. Some even claiming to see Sarah herself, still wandering the halls. Was this house built to trap spirits, or has Sarah's curse never left? Built in 1350 by the Redmond family, Loftus Hall is a mansion with a dark past. In 1666, it was taken over by the Loftus family, who expanded it into the grand estate seen today. But beneath its beauty lies a terrifying legend, one that still haunts the halls. One stormy night in the 18th century, a mysterious stranger arrived at the hall. The family welcomed him, but during a card game, Lady Anne Tottenham dropped a card. When she bent down to retrieve it, she saw something horrifying. The visitor had cloven hooves instead of feet. In an instant, he vanished in a burst of flames, leaving a scorched mark on the ceiling that, legend says, never faded. After the encounter, Lady Anne was locked away in a room, where she remained until her death. Since then, Loftus Hall has been plagued by ghostly screams, shadowy figures, and chilling whispers. Paranormal investigators claim it's one of the most haunted places in the world. After being purchased in 2021, the historic mansion underwent extensive exterior renovations, leading to its rebranding as Amityville House. The new owners aim to reopen the property as a luxury retreat. Was the devil himself truly a guest here? Or is this house cursed by its tragic past? One visit might make you a believer. New Zealand's only castle, Larnac Castle, is more than just a historic landmark. It's a place of tragedy and lingering spirits. Built in 1871 by politician William Larnac, the castle was meant to be a grand home, but heartbreak and death left behind a chilling presence. The most famous ghost? Kate Larnac, William's daughter, who died of typhoid at just 26. Visitors report sudden cold chills, whispers, and an unseen hand brushing against them in her old bedroom. William himself met a tragic end, taking his own life in 1898 after financial and personal misfortunes. Staff and visitors have witnessed ghostly figures, slamming doors, and eerie sensations of being watched. Larnac Castle is breathtaking by day, but by night, it's a different story. Built in the mid-1800s, the Sally House in Etchison, Kansas, is one of America's most haunted homes. Once owned by Dr. Charles Finney, legend says a young girl named Sally died here during a failed operation. But many believe something far more sinister lurks within its walls. Visitors report scratches appearing on their bodies, objects moving on their own, and eerie whispers in the night. Paranormal investigators claim an evil entity may be using Sally's spirit as a disguise, tormenting anyone who dares enter. Now owned by private individuals, the house remains a hotspot for ghost hunters and thrill seekers. And that's our list of the top 10 most haunted houses in the world. Thank you for watching.